Phyrexians, Proliferating Poison.
Only shooting stars break the mold.
Hello everybody and welcome to Brawl Stars. I'm Amy the Amazonian and today I'm poisoning my opponents with Atraxa, Praetors Voice. This card proliferates in your end step, which means that if there's any counters you want to manipulate, you can make them go up, either on your permanents or your opponent's permanents. This is a really cool way to increase the amount of poison that's on your opponents without actually having to hit them, because there's only so many cards that have Toxic in Arena. There's actually quite a few cards that were introduced through Alchemy that are in this deck because they have ways to give poison counters, whereas just on its own, it's kind of hard to make 100 cards that do this. But we have tons of Phyrexians in this deck. We have some Proliferate engines outside of our commander, like Staff of Completion, Contagion Dispenser, and Vraska. And, oh my goodness, just look at all of these beautiful Phyrexians with abilities that we can double with Roaming Throne. My favorite deck, my pet card of the recent sets. Roaming Throne does some serious work by doubling that Proliferate trigger and doubling a lot of other things in this deck. The only thing it doesn't double is Infect/Toxic damage, because that's not a triggered ability. It actually is part of the damage. Notably, there's also only one card with Infect. It's Skithiryx right here. But we have a lot of really good ways to get poison onto our opponents without even hitting them. If we happen to be playing against somebody who's just wiping the board over and over, taking out our creatures, preventing our damage, Prologue to Phyrexian gives our opponent a poison counter. So does Infectious Bite or Vraska's Fall. All of those can start the clock ticking if we don't manage to hit our opponent with any of these early toxic creatures. So we're going to take Atraxa into the queue and we're going to poison our opponents. Thalia and the Gitrog Monster. Thalia and the Gitrog Monster are a fellow death-touching pair. They're also able to make it so my creatures come in tapped, which is pretty tricky. This is an okay hand. I have this early Slaughter Singer, but I have to pay a lot of life to get it in on turn 2. I'm still willing to keep this, and we're going to see if Thalia and the Gitrog Monster can have a fast start. This is a really strong commander, in part because it wins almost every single combat that it's in, because that first strike, Death Touch. And if it attacks in, you can sacrifice. Actually, you have to sacrifice, and when you do, you end up getting yourself a friendly little card draw. Well, you sacrifice land, you get more lands, and then you can use that to ramp up and slam down. I don't know why this card lets you play additional lands each turn. I think it's because it's part of Gitrog's text. But, like, thematically, I don't know what's going on with it. Now, we have our Slaughter Singer down. They played an Elvish Mystic. An Elvish Mystic is no match for a singing Phyrexian. What do you think she's singing? Mana Tide. Ooh, I guess I should have shocked this in. I didn't want to pay the 2 life. They have no black mana, so Thalia and Gitrog can't come out yet. They can make some extra for us. Nice! The Seed Core taps for mana of any color, but only when casting Phyrexians, which... That's so much of my deck. Phyrexian, 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 Phyrexian. They're already up to 5. They're halfway to dead on turn 4. I imagine this is like... Do you see how it's like spitting out all this just like goop from its mouth? That's its song. Its song is a bunch of goop. I can no longer take them out on the ground. Unless I just remove them from the board. Little bit of beautiful Golgari spot removal. Golgari is so good at killing stuff. We'll swing in. A bit more damage. And a bit more poison. One more hit from the Slaughter Singer and they're out. Or just 2 more Proliferates from Atraxa. They have enough mana to play Thalia and the Gitrog Monster again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They could even give it booties.
Happy New Year, Amazon Dab.
Ah, Ben Next, thank you for the 30-month resub. I'm wondering if it's going to be like the Wandering Emperor? Just preventing that poison. I'm going to use Vorinclex to get some mana so I can potentially haste in Skithiryx next turn. Okay. Terra Sunder is fine. Since I don't get that end step. Proliferate. We're going to get one black source that comes in tapped. And I can use Seed Core to pay for the other one. Just grab the forest. Actual factual forest. But they know it's already over. Thalia and the Gitrog monster, sure, it can block one of these. But either through damage or through poison, we're winning this game. GG, Thalia and the Gitrog monster. And in Pakal, 1000th Moon. A deck that's actually a lot more aggressive than mine. This hand has really good 1-drops, but they're not going to be able to get through the army of gnomes. That's why I'm very happy that there's a board wipe in this. I'm going to play the Pheresis Roach to start things. This is a unusual card because it actually gets bigger and bigger the more that it hits. Not damage-wise, but poison-wise. And it's actually going to increase the amount of damage this Pestilent Siphoner is doing. I'm going to name Phyrexian, and we're going to be as aggressive as possible. Bring out the Pestilent Siphoner, swinging in. And now they'll both get an additional Toxic. So now if they hit, they each deal 2 poison damage. Welcoming Vampire, though, can block. Ugh! How awful. Guess I'll just keep building up my board. Atraxa is a very good blocker and attacker. The whole flying, vigilance, death touch, lifelink thing adds up. So now, if they want to trigger Anim Pakal, they have to attack this turn. But if they attack this turn, they're going to be left not defenseless, but they're going to have a lot less. Ooh, a Goblin Bombardment, though. That lets them kill all my little 1/1s. Well, that's why I'm going to block with the Crawling Chorus, because if it dies, I get another Might anyway. And I want them to kill the Pestilent Siphoner. Ah, that went for the Roach. Darn, I was going to give the Roach flying next turn. Okay, so I have up to 6 mana here. So I could play Atraxa. I think I'll just go for the Atraxa play here. Swinging in for 2 poison. Up to 4. This Flensing Raptor has the potential to give this flying. I was hoping to give this flying. Too little, too late. Expel the Interlopers. Killing just my commander. Probably a smooth move. They're leaving Anim Pakal back so she can block. They get 2 more gnomes. And again, I'm still blocking because they can just sacrifice it to kill it anyway. May as well take their decision away from them. Would you like to kill the Caryatid so I can't replay my commander? If they take out enough of my board, I'm pressing the emergency exit button. But I can't do that if they kill my Caryatid. At least I can't do it next turn. Sweet mother of goblins. You killing my 1/1s? You're having some fun. Anim Pakal, I think, is one of the strongest new, just aggressive commanders by virtue of how wide it goes and how many things synergize with the +1/+1 counters. There's so many ways to get additional counters on Anim Pakal. Like Luminarch Aspirant is a great example. There's also the soldier guy who does it. So nasty good. Alright, so they're choosing to kill my mana. I think their intent there is to stop me from replaying Atraxa, which it makes a lot of sense to me. Killing the chorus or killing the siphoner? They might wait until I attack in with the siphoner and then do it. Nope, they're just going for it now. Okay, some blue mana. Prologue to Pheresis. Give you a poison, draw a card. Nice. That gets me to Farewell next turn. Cleansing Raptor. Giving me Crawling Chorus Flying. I can bring them up to 6. Beautiful poison. It's not a gnome. It's not a gnome yet. It will be one soon. Rosy Cotton. Turns those gnomes into additional +1/+1 counters, so they get even more gnomes. Counters entering the battlefield go crazy with Rosie. Impact Tremors. Oh yeah, that'll be some good damage. It's also a lot of permanents for me to exile. Thank you, Farewell. I am hoping to survive this turn. Not attacking in with Anim Pakal. Is it going to be too late? No, because Pakal is not attacking. I'm going to block to prevent the maximum amount of damage. They can sacrifice 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 creatures, which is not enough to kill me. But it does get me pretty dang low. Oh, and they're using one of them on the Crawling Chorus. I guess I'll attack in first. Die! I am a mighty might! And you will perish! Yes, use those up on this! Doot, 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 doot! A reprieve! Alright, y'all. It was too late. Reprieve bounces that back into my hand. Baleful Mastery would have let me hit Anim Pakal next turn, but it still probably would have been too late. Because, yeah, I could have cast that twice. Can't cast this twice. That's a game. GG, Anim Pakal. Still got you at the 6th poison, though. You're halfway there. Dang, she's dummy thick, though. She's a really good aggro commander. This is a really good way to respond in white decks. Sometimes it'll buy you a turn. Like in that case, it was practically a time walk. Pew, 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 pew. Death, 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 death! Ah, really? With one? There we go. -34. GG. Aklazot's Deepest Betrayal makes you discard, and when you do, sometimes gets a bat, sometimes draws a card if you can't discard. This hand is kind of slow, even though it has some removal in it. I think this is better. We have the turn 1 for Rhesus Roach. Turn 2, I could technically play one of these. I'm ideally playing this Pestilent Siphoner because this buffs it up. It's the same thing we saw in the game against Thalion Gitrog monster. Notably, they do have a flying commander. So it might end up just trading with Atraxa. If it dies, though, it turns into a land. It's pretty easy to bring back. All right, I want to have black. That'll work. I'll get my blue and white here. Ooh, Virus Beetle. I think I'll drop... Oh, I love Roaming Throne so much. I think I'm dropping Roaming Throne. Pardon me. I gotta keep this aggro train rolling. It would double this Phyrexian trigger here, the Roaming Throne, I'd need to get a 4th land for that, and right now, yeah, I don't need that. Next turn, they die to 2 bugs, because they were going to deal 6 more poison. The poison trains are rolling, and it's winning the game. GG. Sauron, the Dark Lord. Oh, and Dark Claw, the 91. Thank you for the sub. Sauron, the Dark Lord amasses when you cast a spell, and if you happen to hit an opponent with that amassed Orc army, the ring tempts you. And whenever the ring tempts you, whether from that Orcs or from anything else, you may discard your hand and draw cards. It's a lot of stuff all happening at the same time, and it's really good. I am going to untap this for a turn 1, the Lighted Halfling, because this could be an amass deck, or it could just be Grixis control. So on the Dark Lord, a lot of people take advantage of how powerful he is to actually run lower powered cards, which I really love. You'll have players who are just kind of doing the silly stuff because they still can. I'm going to use Annex Sentry to exile Guardian Idol. I had to double check. It's artifact or a creature that costs 3 or less. So, no ramp. Yeah, like, this card is so good that you actually can power down your deck to just run it as fun stuff. I don't need that stinking halfling. I mean, like, I did need it to play Atraxa, but, like, I don't need it. I need this. Hello there, Mr. Think Caesar. You here to seize my thanks? Getting rid of my mana. Ooh, doesn't matter if we drew this. I also might just go for this Branch Blight Stalker or Thrumming. This is the more aggressive pick. I'll do that. Nope. Playing the Carry Teeth that turn potentially opened up a double spell, but it's one of those things where, like, I just need to hit, and the earlier I get these down, the less likely they are to have blockers. Ba-bam. Poison! Please no board wipes, because I'm committing to this board. No languishes. No extinction events. No burn down the house. Ah, just the Goldspan Dragon. It makes a treasure. That treasure taps for 2 mana rather than 1. I could turn the Goldspan Dragon into a treasure. Because he is a treasure. Okay, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, not lethal. So, I am going to play Atraxa. I'm going to pay 2 life. It is complete. I'm going to turn the Goldspan Dragon into a treasure. They still have the same amount of mana they had before. Oh, no, they only have 1, because this one's tapped. We're going to proliferate, 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 proliferate. I called her Atraxa? Vraska. There she is. Hi, Vraska. Nicol Bolas Dragon God. Listen, you can proliferate too. You want to give yourself some more poison? Because I don't think you have a board wipe tucked up that little draconic nose of yours. Nice! And we win through poison! GG! Malcolm, alluring scoundrel, and scoundrel indeed. Malcolm's a kind of annoying card because all he wants to do is counter your stuff. Well, guess what, Malcolm? My first card is a Cavern of Souls, naming Phyrexian, which nearly every creature in my deck is. Sorry, there's like 2 that aren't, and that's fine. And some of them become Phyrexians after entering the battlefield. They just don't start as Phyrexians. Malcolm has Flash, so he's able to come out whenever he needs to. And flying. When he attacks and hits your opponent, he loots. So he helps you find more helpful spells, whether that's counter spells or card draw or nothing, because the deck is all counter spells, and I had a turn 1 Cavern of Souls. So remember, put Cavern of Souls in your deck. It's a good card. Whatley, Poet of Unity. This is the new Naya Whatley, who is back to being a creature. She got desparked. And this is a hand that has Skrelv and Skrelv's Hive. She grabs a land when she enters the battlefield, and she turns into a saga of all things. A saga that makes dinosaurs, ramps you, tutors for a dinosaur, and then buffs your whole board with Double Strike and trample. I'll name white here. Branch, white branch, whatever, this thing. No, I'm good. I want to get down Skrelv's Hive as early as I can. This way I can start spitting out itty-bitty mites. My mighty mites! Skrelv and his buds. Oh, they're ramping. I'll name green here. Bring out the Signet. And throw down the Hummingbird. Since the Hummingbird has a triggered ability, the poison from this Toxic will apply before this happens. But if they play Watley, like, they'll be able to block. There will be no poison! Unless we kill her. Which, like, I'm gonna try to. Let's see. Each opponent sacrifices a non-token creature. This one, please. Thank you. I'll swing in with these two. And we proliferate. And I play Skrelv because he's just a little guy. Skrelv's Hive also has the bonus of once we've poisoned our commander, we start gaining life back. Which is really convenient, because I will be paying life in this game. Let's see, do I want to go for Atraxa? I'm going to go for Atraxa next turn. This turn, Astral Cornucopia. This is a proliferatable mana rock, which is great. The Tainted Observer. I can either just sacrifice one, or I could just make it super unblockable and give it double toxic. I'm going to give it double toxic. Alright, so boop, boop. Give it protection from, or not protection, unblockable from green, and hexproof from green. This gets proliferated to the Astral Cornucopia. So now they're up to 5 poison. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards with toxic, 1 proliferator, and they're just rampant. They'll be able to flip Watley. They could have flipped her this turn to try to get more blockers. I will pay the 2 to proliferate, because that will pay for itself on this Astral Cornucopia. Oh yeah, they see the writing on the wall. We play Atraxa, we proliferate again. We swing in. They're dead to poison. The game is won. GG. Yarok, the Desecrated, doubles the enter the battlefield triggers of permanents they control. It's pretty sweet. It's also an elemental, so it works well with Risen Reef. Yarok's pretty neat, and because he's just so good with so many different cards, a lot of Yarok decks have a pretty big mix of cards in them. I'm going to start with Botanical Sanctum and lay down this goose. Get loose with this goose. I have a creature in hand that is actually kind of doubly synergetic in this deck. Finn the Fangbearer is good because he makes poison counters. He makes it so whenever a creature with Death Touch deals combat damage to a player, they get 2 poison. But also, our commander has Death Touch, which means that Finn with Atraxa is like a double whammy, super skablammy, and they just work so well together. So they get 2 poison. They get a 3rd from the Proliferate. Next turn, they'd be getting 5 more, assuming both of these are able to hit. Maybe more. Maybe even more than that. All right, so they're gonna kill Finn because that is absolutely the best thing that they could do here. Because they're gonna make me discard a non-creature. It gives me a choice. I could do this to try to get something else. I could play this. I'm willing to lose it. Yeah, I'll lose the Prologue to Pheresis. Because this land comes in tapped. They're up to 4 poison. Hi, Eric. We pay 3 life. They're up to 5 poison. We attack because it helps us gain that life back. We proliferate because I'm impatient. They're up to 7 poison. Oh, Rusko makes 2 midnight clocks because Yerika's in play. They have 3 mana up. Didn't shock that in. Here's Empath. I wonder what they tutor for. They get 2 creature cards with a mana value of 6 or greater. This old man does make 2 clocks. Ooh, Kogla. Kogla can actually also bounce Rusko back into hand so they can play it again to get more mana. And a worm who would give -4/-4 across my board. Hey, Jeff. That's only given -2/-2. It's a little less scary. We play Atraxa. I'm going to wait on these because I may actually end up drawing a card. Up to 8 poison. We can do 9 with the staff. And also, Koga can destroy the staff on attack. Looks like that's going to be enough for us to win the game. GG Yeruk. Hylath, World Sculptor. He sure is sculpting worlds. Let's see. We've got all our colors. We've got Proliferate, Go Wide, and Removal here. These are all things I like. I'm going to get a Triumph that happens to have white mana. As far as headquarters, I'm going to go for white, blue, green, since both of these generate black. So Hylath, our opponent's commander, creates a bunch of little dudes, like a whole lot of them. When it enters the battlefield, it makes a plant for each basic land you control. And then Landfall buffs up those lands by putting 4+1/+1 counters on them. And this part is arena only, gives them trample until end of turn. So yeah, they get big fast, and they can do a lot of work. I'll bring out the Pestilent Siphoner rather than ramping for Sap of Completion. Azusa lets them play additional lands, but... Oh, I see what's going on here. Everything's a basic land. Everything's a basic land. For Hylath, at least I assume that works. And thankfully, I do have a way to make some extra land stuff happen here. I'll swing and poison them. It's fine. Just because I think I only have 4 basic lands in the deck. It's fine. Okay, so it doesn't actually count these, because they're not basic land mountain. It's just mountain. It's a non-basic mountain. Well, this will be tricky. I would love to proliferate, but I think I gotta draw a card here. Paying more life. Having a good time. I'll swing with these 2 mites. You want to sacrifice a plant? Cool. Oh yeah, that's a Blood Moon against a 4-color deck. No, my poison! Bro, I can't! Bro, I literally can't. I'm also forced to block here, so I can't farewell. You win this one, Phylaf. I know, a 4-card deck that specifically does not have... It's funny, though. All your talk deepest foundation. Triples your creature tokens. Dang, that's a lot of tokens. We have a really nice turn 1 into turn 2 here for being aggressive. We have a way to exile a teeny tiny artifact or creature, but we need white mana first. Prologue to Pheresis might get us there since we can cast that. Oh yeah, I mean business. I mean business when it comes to Phyrexians. Hello, big lady. Would you like to take your turn? Okay, I'll just sit my sweetie pop and wait. Oh, they're here. You can tell because the pets came into play. Turn 1. No creatures! Good! That means maybe no blockers. I grabbed the wrong land. Turn 1 misplay. See that? It was supposed to be the Botanical Sanctum. Guys, it's nothing new. Nothing new. I missed out on getting poison in here and buffing this up. You know me. Queen of misplays. Oh, but they would have been able to block it, actually. Saved ourselves. Guys, my misplay saved my roach. Papa Roach is saved! All according to plan. All according to Kaikaku. Genius gamer always did it. 4D chess, yes. Just gonna get that out of the way. I could have also hit the Skyclave Relic. But no blockers means more poison. I'm a genius. I love when, like, you misplay so hard that you actually make the right play. It's just exceptional mind games. Rabble-rousing, but with no creatures to attack, so I'm not too scared of it now. White doesn't have that much haste in it. It does have some equipment that can give haste, like the booties or sting. But I think I'll be able to swing in here. I could also play Atraxa, but I think it's going to be better to just play out the last weenie and then do Atraxa next turn. I guess I could do Flensing Raptor next turn as well, kind of depending on what we got. Ooh, Yabone Duelist! Yes! We're going to get an Orzhov land. Godless Shrine. Shock it in for the Duelist, because giving the Duelist flying next turn should be able to fly over Talk's head. 6 poison. The poisson! The fish! So they can block one thing here, which means that we will have 3 poison going through no matter what. I'm just going to attack. They only played 1 blocker. The Duelist. Field 9. Atraxa. Going to Proliferate to 10. They could walk the walk, but could they talk the talk? No, Atraxa wins this one. Good game. Goreclaw, Terror of Kalsisma. That actually used to be my go-to mono-green commander, because it's really, really fun to play big boys for 2 mana less. Also give them +1/+1 in trample when they all attack in together. Going first, so we have our Indatha Triumph coming in tapped, and next turn we could play the Duelist, who's, I suppose, going to duel that Llanowar Elf. Something about bears and the power of friendship. Well, Goreclaw once got punched in the face by Surik. But then Surik and Goreclaw worked together. Ooh, they still have 3 mana left after that. What's she gonna do with all that mana? A drawbridge! It gives haste. It gives haste, and more importantly, it can block my duelist! It has a big butt, and it cannot lie. Play the Thrumming Bird here. Hopefully I'll have something to proliferate soon. Llanowar Tribe taps for 3 mana. So they can refund that 3 mana by using the drawbridge to give it haste. Pay 3, get 3. No land yet for turn now. Oh no, are they fighting? No! My birdie! Bye-bye, birdie. I guess this is a good way to try to draw a land. They could have also played Goreclaw here, but they might want a little bit more mana. Yeah, there's like 3 Healer's Hawk in a Trenchcoat and 3 Llanowar Elves in a Trenchcoat as just cards that they put out. Another! This time it was a bite. Well then. Atraxa is going to come out and proliferate nothing. Because you don't have any poison! Yeah, Healer's Flock is the 3 Healer's Hawks in a trench coat. Here comes Goreclaw. Are you giving her haste? I'll let her hit because, honestly, I gained almost all the life back by swinging in with Atraxa. Oh, a lot of little guys. This also hits. In fact, it will hit for 6. Pretty nice. What other cards could you shove 3 of together? They have to be iconic 1-drops. Esper Sentinel? I would pay 3 mana for 3 Esper Sentinels in a trench coat. What's 3 red creatures in a trench coat? Ragavan times 3 is just a Tali. Excuse me, I'm just gonna try this again. I proliferate the nothingness! I'm going to drown your Llanowar tribe and keep proliferating nothing! Listen, I brought this upon myself. Hi, Goreclaw. I take it. I only have 1 card. I'll make a snack, a delicious, delicious snack. An iconic 1-drop in red that wouldn't be completely busted. Maybe Monastery Swiftspear. It's not as impressive. Triple Prowess. I mean, there's that card that's with double prowess that's so good. The one that's, Kenra something? It's a recent card. Kenra Swift Spear? That's not it. It's Kenra something. Ooh, Gwenna. Untaps when they cast the big girl. You can give her haste so she can attack in too. Or just like hang out with Goreclaw. Ooh, everyone's coming in? Die, Goreclaw. I don't know if you got anything in there. They have 2 mana. But I have a really good life gainy card. So I'll block with the Goose, block with Atraxa. Do you have any Titanic Growths? Because it wouldn't kill me because of that life gain. The Goose is just MVP. Also, the fact that Atraxa is legit just doing this all on her own is very impressive. I'm going to actually play the Ajani here. We want the white mana. Go for the full cost, that's fine. I'm going to beef up Atraxa and the Goose. In end step, will proliferate the +1/+1 counters. It's not going to be a poison win, but it is going to be a win. Good game. Luris of the Dream Den. As a commander, not a companion. This is probably going to be a deck that sacrifices a lot of cards and brings them back, which means I might want to go for this hand because it has Farewell, which allows me to exile the graveyard. It also has Astral Cornucopia, which is a mana rock, which I can proliferate to get more and more mana. But I don't have any super early creatures, and I assume they're going to have a lot of super early creatures, since, you know, Luris. They can have things that cost more than 2 in their deck, since this is not the companion. It's a matter of, who are we going to see? The Seed Core. Hold my Edict here. Remember, if I kill it, it can come back. Okay, I will kill it. They are going to make me drop Farewell. Or they could have confidence that they could kill me first. No, they're hitting a Farewell. That is 100% warranted. Bounty Agent can be sacrificed to kill Atraxa. That tracks. I think I'll go for green, and I would like to scry. Targeted, don't need it. The Slaughter Singer. I ain't trading. You can come back too easily. I'm going to take my Slaughter Singer and teach it how to fly. And swing in! For 3 damage, 2 toxic, and never mind, it's dead. Now the Flensing Raptor stands alone. The Flensing Raptor dies alone. Astral Cornucopia. Distorted Curiosity, just to draw some cards. I also imagine that they're running protective spells like Kaya's Ghost Form, or the little dog. It can sacrifice itself to give Indestructible. Well, that'll work. Annex Sentry. We exile the Bounty Agent. It's now in jail. Cathar Commando can destroy my Annex Sentry. It is an artifact. I'll grab a Triome, one with black and that's cost. Or in its mana base. Cool. I'll swing in. Before it hits, they're getting rid of this. And I'm getting rid of that. Permanently exiling the bounty agent. Because I still do not have anything to proliferate other than the cornucopia. Not playing Atraxa yet. Tainted Observer. But now they can't recur removal for my commander. They can recur the other stuff. They can destroy these. Can't destroy this. All right, the Observer comes in. Deals 2 damage. There's Phyrexian. There's Phyrexian. We get a bunch of different proliferate stuff here. We will pay the 2 to proliferate. Great. We once again proliferate. They're up to 3 poison. Just had to get the first one. Hi, Loris. Hi, Esper Sentinel. Rite of Oblivion. Taking out the Tainted Observer. And replaying the Esper Sentinel as their card from grave. Desparking Atraxa. Rippy Peppies. The good news is, yes, they can force me to sacrifice in a turn or two. But I'll have something to sacrifice. I'll have this goose to sacrifice. 4 poison. Also 4 mana on the cornucopia. They could also just use, like, Rite of Oblivion again. Cathar's Commando want to take out that cornucopia? Good idea. It is a very annoying card. Arcane Signet for ramp. Probably not attacking in because life gain, vigilance, death touch, all that stuff. Speaking of gaining life, I'm just gonna eat the food. I still feel like I have enough mana. Ooh, Otawara. Cool. Let's hold on to that. The Siege Core can buff Esper Sentinel? I guess. Target 1/1 creature. Yep, I guess the game is like, do you want to buff up their Esper Sentinel? No? Oh, okay. Are you sure? Yes? It's weird that you keep asking. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I can still replay Atraxa. Because I could put it back into hand. Make a food! A delicious snack. You want to destroy my Arcane Signet? Cool. There it goes. And here comes me! Atraxa again! 6 poison! They could play Virtue. That would get them things from my graveyard too, like the Annex Sentry. Nice! I'm kind of hoping they do so I can put it back into my hand. Atraxa swings in, deals damage, and proliferates to 7 poison. Okay, they're going for the Annex Sentry. It can't exile Atraxa, it can exile the Gnat. And Gnat's Gnat. Legions to Ashes on Atraxa. Okay. Priest of Forgotten Gods to hopefully get some sacrifice on. I'm going to use Otawara, put Annex Sentry back into my hand. I'm going to, I guess, make another food. I have a spell in hand. Annex Sentry. I can go for the Priest. I can go for Lurrus. I'm going to go for the Priest. They'll be able to destroy the Sentry again, but this essentially just makes it so it can't attack. I guess I could increase your damage. We are not winning through damage, though.
You pay the 1?
Yeah, I pay the 1 as per Sentinel. And I plus, because I would like some card advantage. That makes mites, that's fine, but not what I want. Nat, go. Who are you bringing back? Flyer? Got flyers in the graveyard. Cleansing of Raptor. Going to destroy my Annex Sentry again. There's some card in their hand also that now deals poison to them because of how the Skull Piercer Nat works. Hello, Arvad. Arvad getting chunky. Not what I crave. Top card of my library. That's a land. Not what I crave. Okay, I've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10. I guess we... Yeah, we pay 10. I can't give this the little +2/+1 that it would just trade. We don't want that. They're at 9 poison. Can you kill my Atraxa? There's a spell in your hand. Unless you only had a land in hand that was touched by that gnat. They cook my goose. They get the plunder from down under. That gets them a random card from my deck, because I have no cards in hand. Could be anything. It could even be a land. They proliferate! They do not proliferate themselves. That would be bad. Sarah Paragon lets them play another thing from the graveyard, but it was the poison spell! And we win the game. Thank you so much for watching this poisonous deck. And yes, I'll be at some crazy aggro games, which was really, really nice, because I got to show off what Atraxa and her fellow poisonous friends can do. Notably, there are no cards with poisonous in this deck. They would be great, though, because their ability would be doubled by roaming through, because that one's triggered, whereas Infect and Toxic are not. This deck is pretty cool. It is in the description of the video. And I'll say, if you've got a deck you would like to see me update, or maybe a commander you'd like to see me build, please let me know in the comments. Some of these are not ones I'm going to be able to get to, especially some of the lower powered ones that don't do that much in Arena. But there's a lot of commanders I have yet to build, or commanders I built like 2 years ago and then forgot about. Listen, there's a lot of cards in Arena, and I play with a lot of them too. Thank you so much for watching, and have a brawlful day.